Have you seen the guys with the manly hair on the face this season on the Amazing Race? Two best friends, Joel and Garrett, chasing down the $1 million carrot. Where will you go? How far will you go? If you want to know, watch the next episode. Two pals palling around, span the globe, representing their home in Idaho. Facial hair gods, two dad bods, met in the army, served in the same squad. Every girl's hall pass will be Joel and Garrett from now on.
Well, all I know is you didn't tell me to lower my chair, and I'm not going to this time.
Lower your chair.
Too late. All right.
I'm gonna raise my chair.
Fine. Get your posture normal, and I'll lower my chair.
Lower your chair. I'll lower mine at the same time.
Because heaven forbid people know how much shorter than you I am. So it's our recap of episode 9, second episode in Slovenia, and It was awesome.
Beautiful.
I would say in this episode we were trying to be among the best of the best, doing our best to be the best among the best, with the best.
Here come the Men in Navy Blue.
Yeah, that's us.
Men in Black reference.
Men in Navy Blue. So this leg started right out of the gate with a roadblock. And we had to deliver the goods. I went and got my hobo pack, and that thing was so precarious. You saw in the show, everybody had trouble keeping their hobo pack together because it was just, I think it was designed to suck. And so it had no other purpose except to suck. And so you're carrying it around and it's falling apart everywhere. I was having trouble with mine. The clue specifically said you had to wear the pack.
Yeah, but you had a brilliant idea.
I had a brilliant idea, and it was, okay, I'll wear the pack on my front.
Smart.
So once I had it all together, I put my arms through, and I held it like this.
Thing, you can keep everything on there, no issues after that point.
I started jogging, and I'm holding everything on, and I'm like, I'm wearing the pack, just like the clue said. And then one of the producers was like, He's like, quit out thinking the clue. And I'm like, but it's on the clue. And he's like,
Put it on your back.
He's like, don't talk back or I'll make you go back to the start. Again at the start. He didn't really say that. But so I grudgingly put the pack back on my back, even though that's not what the clue said. And, okay, so you saw in the episode, I show up back at Congress Square, and Smythe sees me there. And,
so here's the thing that happened. We're all standing there looking for the next team to come barreling towards us, right, with the clue. And all of a sudden, I see a camera crew come around the corner of a building. And I said to the other two teams, was it just two? Steve and Natalie and Chelsea
and Robin. Yeah.
And I was like, here comes a camera crew. Whose is it? And I look, and I notice it's my camera crew.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's mine. That's got to be Strasser. And then Strasser comes around the corner, and he's still wearing the pack.
Yep.
And I was like, oh no. they cut that out where I was like, oh no, he still got the pack on.
I was supposed to come back there, but without a hobo pack, but with a clue.
You're supposed to have dropped it off first.
Yeah. Well, so I don't think the episode did a good job actually showing the nature of where we had to drop the pack off, because when your clue had a picture of a fountain. That's all you had was a picture of a fountain, and that's where you had to take it to. The fountain didn't have a name, and it didn't have an address. So all of us who had the pack, we were going around showing this picture to people saying, do you know where this is? Do you know where this is? And we're in a highly touristy area. So these tourists don't know where the fountain is. It was a little off the beaten path, not much off.
One of them thought it was in Germany.
That's true. Those guys were messing with John.
I really wish John would have walked to Germany.
That would have been great.
Would have helped us out a little bit.
So, I kept asking people for directions, and they kept sending me the wrong way, which is how I got back to Congress Square where Smythe was. And so then when Smythe told me to follow my beard, I'm like, yes, I'll follow the beard. And then I had this brilliant idea. I see this older guy. He's like probably upper 60s, lower 70s. And I could tell he was a local. Like, he just looked like he belonged there. He wasn't a tourist like everybody else. And I'm like, he'll know where this fountain is. So I showed him the picture of the fountain, and he immediately was like, oh yes, for sure. You go straight down this road, straight. Just keep going, cannot miss it, keep going straight. And I'm like, perfect, I'm so glad I asked you.
All you needed, right?
Yeah. So I go straight down that road, just straight down.
That's all you had to do.
I went straight down the road. I missed it because it wasn't there. And the guy was messing with me or drunk or I don't know what. But I went about a mile out of the way. And I had to go all the way back. And remember, we're walking super slow. Because the longer I got down that road, the more I'm thinking like, it's either right here or I'm way out of the way. But I can't go fast. And I'm like, surely it's got to be here. That guy was so confident. But anyway, eventually a young dude that looked like a tourist told me right where the fountain was.
It was really cool, though, that whole challenge, the way that all the cameras were set up, and I don't know how they were able to do it, but just the way it all worked with Strasser when he was asking for his initial directions, just trying to find the place.
The umbrella shop, yeah.
Yeah. All of a sudden you see Corey come walking up, and I asked Strasser while we were watching, I was like, did you know he passed you? He had no clue.
No.
And the camera just happened to catch Corey coming by.
They got a lot of shots like that.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I thought the cinematography was great. The way they must have stationed cameras and planned for it, and they executed it really good. That was awesome. So anyway, we get that. Where did we go? Oh, the cave. The cave was next.
Yeah, the cave was
next.
next.
Pivkajama Cave. Phil tells you in the little build-up to it that there's like 8,000 caves in the area. And there's another cave right by Pivkajama with a similar name.
Much more touristy.
Much more.
There was a huge parking lot, a lot of people there.
And you saw Chelsea and Robin go to that wrong cave. What you didn't see is us go to that wrong cave too. And every other team. Because when we were driving around at the wrong cave, there was this guy in the parking lot with like a orange vest. And we asked him for directions and he was so annoyed.
He didn't want to talk to us.
He was like, oh, another person. This is the wrong cave, okay? And so apparently every team had been to the wrong cave and asked that guy. And he wasn't very friendly. But we go toward the right cave. We see a sign that says, Camping. Pivkajama, this way. And so we turn down that street.
But I am an overthinker, you know.
Are you?
So all I'm thinking about
you, an
this whole
overthinker.
time is the gigantic sign that was way bigger than the Pivkajama that said camping.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, what if it's just camping down here for the cave, but the cave is actually further up the road to get to the cave.
Yeah.
So we decided to turn around.
We did a U-turn. We went back to the highway. We went the same. We made the same mistake Chelsea and Robin made, except they didn't show us make it. We definitely made it. We went way the wrong direction, and then we were like, you know what? I bet it was back where that sign said Pivkajama.
Yeah.
I bet you that's where
probably the one. It's probably where it says it is.
And our sound guy in our car with us.
That was the biggest laugh I got the whole entire time we were there, was when he told us, this is after the thing's over. He's like, you know what was funny is when you guys pulled up to that sign and you thought, there's a sign saying exactly where you want to go. It's probably not that way.
Yes. Thanks a lot, Bruno.
It made me laugh, though.
Yeah.
I loved it. But the reason they didn't show that is because it really didn't affect our placement in any way. Mm-hmm. But it did affect Chelsea and Robin, and so that's why it made more sense to show them having that issue rather than us.
So we got in the cave. We built the dragon pretty quickly. We work good together when it comes to building things. We have a good system. You saw it at the puppets. You saw it at you sort of saw it at the bee house, and here we don't split up and say, you do this part, you do this part. We both do the same parts together, and it's pretty quick the way it works. I liked it.
We even had other teams saying that they thought we built the dragon faster than anybody.
Yep, which we probably did.
Just too bad it didn't move us up a spot, you know?
It should have.
Yeah.
But that would come. Because after the cave, then we were headed to Fonda Fish Farm. If you look up Fonda Fish Farm on Google Maps, go ahead and do it now. I'll wait. See, it's right on the border of Italy. Like, in fact, it's right where Italy, Croatia, and Slovenia come together. So we get to the fish farm, we go out on the boat, and while we're approaching the kayaks from the main boat, our boat captain was like, hey, did you know that you are right where Slovenia, Italy, and Croatia come together? He's like, that's Croatia. And at this point, we were closer to Croatia than we were to Slovenia or Italy. So while we were out there at those buoys, I think we might have actually been in Croatia. I'm going to say
Croatian waters.
We were in Croatian waters at that point.
And actually, when we were at the Fonda Fish Farm, there was at one point we really needed some help. So we said, help me, Fonda. Help me, Fonda.
This is the kind of crap that I had to put up with the whole time. Fortunately, he didn't really say that then. He just thought of it now. And he thought it was clever.
That now.
Was it clever?
It was
think that was pretty
so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Let's talk about the fiasco at the Fonda Fish Farm mussels part.
Corey and Rob.
Because Corey and Rob made a brutal, not a brutal mistake. A what mistake?
A mistake.
They made a mistake. The clue clearly said that you must swap out the buoys and retrieve the mussels. And it also said if you don't bring back the mussels that are attached to your buoy, if you drop them or lose them at any point, you must switch detours. So the reason you saw them trying so hard to get their mussels was because if they couldn't find those mussels, they had to switch detours. And so they had the right idea. They're like, dude, this is going to take forever if we screw this up. So they tried to get the mussels, but eventually they realized it was fruitless and they weren't going to get them. So when we got to the dock and Corey's like, we did it wrong, I gave the most sincere aw shucks you've ever heard.
I didn't remember you doing that.
I didn't either.
And I don't think you meant that in a
I wasn't trying to be
way,
a butthead, but it kind of came across.
Yeah, on camera it came across like, aw shucks, you poor guys. Oh, we feel so bad for you.
When he told me, like, aw shucks. And then I look at his wife.
It reminded me of the part where Steve and Annalie went for the express pass up the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they got to the bee house, she said, we tried to get the express pass, and then Strasser, we knew Corey and Rob had it. Strasser says, did you get it?
she's like, obviously not.
Like, of course not. Like, you know we didn't get it.
So we finished the mussels detour. I hope you enjoyed seeing our mussels because they were a sight to behold.
Yes, that was another dad joke that they didn't put in the show.
Yeah, we said it.
We said we've never been fishermen, but we're definitely mussel men. Huh?
Yeah, so we're getting it in now since they cut it out of the show.
Yeah, nobody liked it this time either.
Nope. So the road down to Fonda Fish Farm, it's like a road that goes down from the highway. We were coming back up that road to get back on the highway to head to the castle.
It's a narrow road, too.
Yeah. And we see Todd and Ashley pulling off the highway as we're about to pull onto the highway. We rolled down our windows. Todd and Ashley asked us, have you seen Chelsea and Robin? I say, haven't seen them. And then I realized later, I missed the perfect opportunity to mess with them. I should have said, yeah, Chelsea and Robin are finishing up the detour right now. And that would have put Todd and Ashley into a frenzy.
No point. There's no point in that.
It would have been funny.
To you?
Yeah, and you. And to America. So, anyways, we didn't play a joke on them. We let them know. We put their minds at ease, told them we haven't seen Chelsea and Robin this whole time.
We have a hard time being mean to people, and so we only think of those ideas later on.
Yeah, because being mean is...
In the moment, we just want to be helpful.
Yeah.
It's one of our downfalls. In the moment, we just want to be helpful.
Yep.
What can you do?
It's my greatest regret. So we get to the castle. We were 2 or 3 minutes behind Greg and John. They had just checked in on the mat. Then we show up at the mat. And then we met the greatest grandmas in all of Europe.
But wait, when we passed Steve and Annalie, remember, Steve and Annalie passed us also.
Yeah, so in the show, you saw us when we left Fonda Fish Farm. You saw us pass Steve and Annalie. What you didn't see is later we had to stop for directions. We didn't really have to. I kind of wanted to. He knew.
No, we did, because we didn't have directions at that point.
Oh, that's right.
We stopped at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And got directions. Getting back into our car, we see Steve and Annalie pass us.
Yep.
So now we think, okay, now we're back in third place. So we get back on the road, and we start driving, and we're driving. It's a long drive.
Yeah.
And I just remember Strasser starting to freak out a little bit, and he's like, "What if we've gone too far?" The instructions.
There were no signs.
The instructions we were told is you're going to drive through a town, and then after that town, you'll see a sign that says "So serve Grun."
Yeah.
And so we're driving down the road, and we went through what we thought might have been a town, but it was kind of still on the freeway area.
Yep.
And then he starts saying, should we stop? Do we need to turn around?
I was worried.
Direction?
I was feeling sick. I felt like we were going the wrong way.
And I just kept telling him to shut up because I was starting to feel sick because he kept saying he was sick. And then finally I said, the guy said just keep going until you see the sign with the name on it. And he says, well, what if we don't ever see a sign with a name on it? Then I said, then we'll just keep driving until we do.
And luckily Smythe won.
It wasn't long after that
Yeah.
that we saw the sign.
Yep. So we get to the castle.
And I actually asked Annalie how we passed them up again. She said right before that area, they actually did stop again.
Yep.
So
it's a good thing we didn't stop or we would have got third place. I'm glad that Smythe didn't listen to me. Because when we pulled up, we saw only one car parked, but we were sure that Steve and Annalie were still ahead of us. So when Phil told us we were second, That was a big surprise because we thought we were third. But I think the best part of the whole leg was those grandmas.
Oh, they were
the grandmas were awesome.
They were a lot of fun.
They were a hoot.
As they say.
One of them really had a thing for my beard.
Yes, she loved it.
Can you blame her?
I can't.
No one can. So that was a lot of fun. We get into the castle where at this point we had kind of figured that Chelsea and Robin were probably going to be eliminated because we knew that Todd and Ashley were ahead of them, and we liked Chelsea and Robin a lot. And for more on that, maybe we should give Chelsea and Robin their own little tribute. What do you think?
Right now?
Let's do it now.
All right.
Chelsea and Robin were a team that we formed an alliance with early on. In fact, in the very first leg, we formed an alliance with them, and we had worked good with them the whole time. They had never done anything except be nice to us. We had a lot of fun in the airport in Mumbai with them.
That's right.
When we saw CeeLo Green.
CeeLo Green.
The four of us with Chelsea and Robin, had quite a conversation with CeeLo Green.
Or as he calls himself, Larry.
Yeah, he told us his name was Larry, but we knew better.
Yeah.
We talked to CeeLo Green for a while, and anyway, we had a lot of fun with them.
Yes.
I loved Chelsea and Robin. They were moms, we were dads, we're the same age.
We connected really well.
Yeah. So it was tough to see them go.
And in that leg, when we were standing at the roadblock and Chelsea was out doing hers, Strasser was out doing his, Robin made a comment while we were standing there, and it just kind of made me feel like, they might be going home this leg. Because I just remember Robin saying, at least if we get eliminated today, we get to go see our kids again. Or she made some comment about seeing kids. And in my mind, I was thinking, oh no, don't say that, because then that, you know how you start getting in your own head, and then you might just slack a little. I don't know. It makes it harder to push yourself. And so I was a little bit concerned at that moment. But now, after seeing the episode and seeing that Chelsea had to go back a second time with her pack, that kind of made it difficult to come back from at that point. But so it was sad for us, and we really love Chelsea and Robin. They're super good people. I know that on the show a lot of times it looked like they were just super competitive, which they are competitive, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing at all.
But they really are very nice people, and we love them to death.
And it's hard to see a team get eliminated because their dream is over. But with them especially, I felt like it would have been so cool for Robin to win this thing because of everything she had overcome. She has such a cool story to begin with all of the challenges and obstacles in her life that she has triumphed over, and she could have very easily triumphed this amazing race as well. So that was hard, but I'm glad that they got that cool ending in the show.
Yes,
where they took the swim. I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Until we see you next time, Chelsea and Robin, here's to you.
Yes.
And now let's see what they have to say.
You guys are so sweet, and it was super duper fun to do the race with you. And I love that, I'm definitely a parent who is completely entranced and in love with my family, and you guys were, I just love that we were family people together and doing a wild adventure to inspire our kids and take those chances and take those big opportunities. They definitely go against the regular humdrum of family life. And I just love how sweet and funny you guys are, and you never cuss, and you always get along with each other. And I think it's really important I think it's not just important, but I think that it was really unique that you guys were never mean-spirited and always had a good time, but we're also so funny at the same time. So I had a wonderful time racing with you. I'm so glad I got to share the same space with you. That's my mom and my kids. And thanks for letting me pop onto your little, there's Garrett too, he's right there. We're off to Thanksgiving. But yeah, I love that Pedro picked us. He picked some real people. Not that other people are fake, but we don't have a billion influencers I'm not a model yet. You're a Guinness Book of World Records holder, so that's pretty special. But yeah, I am so glad that we got to have this experience together, and we'll see you guys soon. Bye.
Well, we made it to the top 5, Smythe.
Top 5?
We're in the top 5!
Wow, who would have ever thought?
Nobody saw this coming except for guess who? Us.
We did.
We saw this coming.
Right up until the race started and we saw the other 12 teams.
And then we were like, oh crap. Keep watching because more fun to come.
Next week.